This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast. It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the social media and Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Video producer, podcaster, etc. Help you with your social media tidbits here and there and live streams. We have with us an expert in the photography and has a past life as a aerodynamic something. You went to school for planes and shit.
Planes and shit and space stuff.
Absolutely, planes and space stuff. I think that's your official title now. Dave Podnar's with us from the Podcave and iPhoneography podcast as well.
Yep. Thanks so much, Sorg. And I don't want to bring this up because it wasn't anything I have familiarity with. But if you look on actually on LinkedIn for my co-host Greg McMillan, he has a very in-depth review of the new 300 to 600 millimeter zoom lens for your iPhone. And yes, it is as heavy as you think it is.
Listen, I've like had to pick up Katie's Gary giant lens that's like almost the length of her arm, and like I get it. You know, that's some heft right there. So, and very centralized as well. So we're good. We're ready to go. We made sure we're in the TikTok zone because you have to make sure you're in the center of the frame. So when you do the TikToks later, you're good to go. You're in TikTok mode there, Dave. You're pretty good there. There you go. Got all tested. Yeah. That's how you do.
I did the Madonna test there for Vogue.
That's how we're trying to get to, this is how we're trying to get in it with the kids. By a old Madonna reference. That's great. That doesn't age us at all, dude. But anyways, so let's get into our awesome things of the week. Dave, let's have you go first.
Okay. This is something about, and for me, this is a positive online thing. And this is the positive something about a person online. So in Reddit, in the R Pittsburgh subreddit, there is someone known as Stormfreak. And every week he puts out a forecast. Not sensational, not kind of crazy waving arm thing, a very reasonable, sorted out forecast. And he was only known as Stormfreak. And there was a recent article written about him, kind of giving his background, how he got started. He got started on Reddit by COVID tracking, and then went more for meteorology. And he really took off. If you remember the January snowstorm that everyone was predicting like 50 inches, he said, well, what would it look like if it actually happened? It's not going to. And from then on, it just started to take off. And, like his latest tacos, tequilas, tornadoes, and Elmo. So it's a good forecast in terms of not just reliability. Like I said, it's not, oh, this is severe weather warning. What's going to happen? It's going to rain a little bit. Okay, we don't need to. But it's also humorous, and he interacts a lot.
And this is he's a user on the official. It is under the Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, it is under the Pittsburgh Reddit. I'm sorry, I'm reading as if it's Twitter or Facebook or something when I'm looking at.
No, my bad. No, it's under Reddit. He does have a Substack if you're not a fan of Reddit, where he does post his weekly column there. And again, it's just something where it's a good, reasonable take on the weather, which is hard to find a lot of times.
Oh, absolutely. So,
and also it's a local guy. He's in Swissville, so he's local to Pittsburgh, and it's just, and the story kind of gives you a nice little background about them too.
There's a burgeoning amateur meteorologist thing going on in general online, right? Because I recall when we were sitting there, it was back in May of last year. We were sitting there, had just set everything up for 2 days of live stream at the Michigan Speedway, and there was a string of tornadoes coming through. And I was trying to figure out, like, okay, what's actually happening? Who's giving me information? I ended up on a YouTube feed where they were watching this, bringing in all the confirmed touchdowns and sightings of tornadoes. I sat with that for most of the evening in my stress of whether my equipment would be there the next day. So it was, and again, like I would rather go there than Weather Channel at this point, right? So
Yeah, I mean, for those of us, again, looking at the gray beard here, when all these niche channels, so, oh, you want weather information that's like now, you want news, go here now. Well, all those channels have split off. Weather Channel has weather, but it also has regular programming.
Yeah.
And forget about like the channels like the Learning Channel. Discovery Channel, Food Network, where their idea was, we're here to give you information. Well, now we're here to do game shows.
Even if the Weather Channel was still as viable as it used to be, we're showing radars all the time, it's still going all over the country. So it's like, no, I want something that's going to be concentrated on this, and the locals aren't even doing it. I'm sitting in an Airbnb. I don't even know how to get a local channel at that point. So you're going online and this is where it's at. So no, this is really cool. I again, I'm trying to spend some more time on Reddit, even though my account got half like suspended because of hackers, and I'm still trying to figure out that bit. So that's why there's no Reddit groups anymore, by the way, guys, for AwesomeCast or anything else that we did, because I saw the automated stuff I saw there. It saw the spam stuff that was happening with the alternate accounts they took my email for. And they kind of half suspended all of it. And took all my stuff away. Anyways, but no, I'm excited to see this guy pop up in my feed now. That I'm in that kind of world a little bit. So very, very cool. So Reddit Stormfreak, and that was Next Pittsburgh did the article that talked about his background, right? So very cool. Hey, here's another one for us olds in technology. You remember I did not Blockbuster, but I had my video stores, back home. So I'm very familiar with the vibe, the general vibe. I would not necessarily, I can't even tell you where the nearest Blockbuster would have been to us, probably over in Youngstown or something, right? So this one came up in my feed, and I actually did a little bit of a video earlier this week where that if you're in our feeds for it should have been on the Instagram and the TikTok at the very least. So I just had a little video of a little bit of the walkthrough. So this is called Binge Buster. It's at bingebuster.net. And the idea is you plug in what services you have that you're subscribed to for your streaming. So it kicks off with Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus. Like I was like, well, I got Paramount and I got Apple TV. And let's ignore the Peacock because I don't really pay for that. And all I want to watch on there is Mario Galaxy anyways. So you restock it, you enter the Binge Buster, and you roll in, and now you have, I did this on the phone. I actually did not do this on a desktop yet. Before right now, and you see like there's this there's something called the shuffle and nice box art, and you can even flip it around in 3D, and the description is on the back as well.
Oh, that's nice. And then it's only items that you have too, so you don't have to worry about.
It's what's included in your subscription. Yeah. So that's on HBO Max, and when you go in there, is the Diplomat on Netflix, for instance. It's going to say stream on Netflix, and it'll even give you a trailer on YouTube as well. And you can create lists out of here. It gives you the information synopsis over here, which of course is, I think, looks like it's duplicated on the back as well. Gives you the runtime, the genre and things like that. So I'm in the new releases right now, but there's a whole store over here, guys. So you can go in and let's see, let's go check out action movies. Jeez. Okay, Hamburger Hill, Tarzan 2 over on Disney, the Tomb Raider movie, the new one. Things like that. Let's see what else is going on here. So if you just like kind of reminisce about how you wanted to, so whatever Space Sweepers is on Netflix, Let's see. Let's go over here. Oh, here's sci-fi. Here's some classics. Okay, there's some Goofy, just Olympic champ. There you go. Let's see what's over in action here. Suicide Squad. Wait. Sci-fi? Oh, sci-fi is UHF sci-fi, I guess. With let's see, Repo. Oh, Repo the Genetic Opera. That was a random one that I found on Netflix back in the day. That's over on Prime Video. So you get the idea here. It's just a skin for, another way to look at all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's the latest Indiana Jones movie. There's some Venom. I think there's the third Venom over on Netflix. So it's a pretty cool thing. If you just want to look at box arts, you know what I mean? Here's just Empire Strikes Back with one of the coolest box arts. I don't even know if this was on anything. So that's a really cool poster. But yeah, it kind of gives you an idea.
This is so cool,
right? And again, it's kind of a lark. It's kind of a just it's not anything that brings a whole lot to it except for a little bit of the that front interface a little bit. Oh, there's some Shin Godzilla. That's a good one too. It's over on HBO Max right now. Okay. I'm seeing ones I remember watching them on other things. Staff picks. There you go. I don't know what they're doing. The staff. Hold on. There you go. Gonna update that. Man named called Otto. We have a friend of the Wrestling Mayhem show that was in this movie as an extra, by the way. I need to watch it again so I can try to. I think I identified him. I think I went back and when he went on digital. I'll have to go look again. Our friend David Lawless was in a scene. I think when they're trying to move him out, he might be a member of that crew there. So, but yeah, so that's BingeBuster.net, and you're not even logging in necessarily with it. You're just kind of listing, because if you subscribe to Netflix, it's not like you have different stuff going on. Ooh la la! Here's romances. Here we go. Let's pick a picture. Let's pick one for Katie. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Earthquake bird. Okay.
I like the fact that it also says watch trailer on YouTube.
Yes. They've kind of pulled all that up. So
oh my.
I don't know. Wow.
That doesn't sound.
Okay, there's a lot going on in that film.
Yeah.
So it was something for you guys on audio, something called Fingernails. Anna and Ryan have found true love together. It's been proven by a controversial test. There's one problem. Anna still isn't sure, and then she meets Amir. What? I'm sure it's just here though. Here, Clifford the big red dog. That's a safe one, I suppose. So cool. Again, just kind of a fun thing to check out there. So that was kind of a cool thing. Dave, it is time for your awesome person of the week. What do we got this week?
Yep. Yeah, this time we're going pretty far back. We're actually going to someone who was involved with both the telephone and light bulb invention. We're going back to Louis Latimer, born in 1848, passed in 1928. Son of former slaves.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, if you think when he was born, 1848, pre-Civil War, he was born in Massachusetts, but there was still the whole, well, is your family really free? Because could someone go up north and just take you and drag you back down?
Mm-hmm.
So he had to deal with that growing up. He joined the Union Army during Civil War. Afterwards, he started to work as a drafter. They saw he had a lot of talent as a drafter. He made the drawings for Alexander Graham Bell's first patent application for the telephone. So, highly skilled, obviously, in terms of what he did there. And he worked for various other companies. He produced a carbon filament that was more durable and longer lasting than earlier filaments. Because that is the one thing. Edison did not invent the light bulb. There were incandescent lights before that. It was really the finding the right filament that really pushed him off. Where before the filaments either burned out or they were too expensive or they were too hard. And Latimer was involved with that, and he looked over a lot of information about inventing that in terms of getting started there. Mm-hmm. And eventually he started to work for Edison's company. and he became a patent investigator and an expert witness later on for Edison when he got out of the engineering side. So, obviously great with an engineering mind, even though did not go to school for engineering. Starting on the drafting and obviously really good with his hands and figuring out what was going on, but also being used as an expert witness in the 19 teens and early 1920s. That's especially looking back at the time of America, having an African American gentleman doing that was a big deal. So, just some of the things that he went through, and he was involved early on, again, basically with two major inventions that you really don't hear his name mentioned at all.
Very cool. When you talk about the filament and the light bulb kind of situation, it reminds me of the Apple thing. They didn't invent the cell phone. They just kind of made it a thing that everybody wanted, right? Very interesting there. So very cool. That is our awesome personal week. Louis Latimer, who helped do the filament for the electric light bulbs. So there you go. And drafters are the real workhorses. So I remember my mother used to do electrical systems, I think for cars or something like that back in the day. So
yeah, and if you want to see something fun, either look up old drafting, not the stuff made in the last, let's say, 20 years. That's all computer. Or even 30 years, maybe even 40.
Sure.
Look at the stuff pre-1980, pre-1970. You can probably find stuff. That the amount of skill to make it where it's an art. It's an art form. Because not only do you have to understand what you're trying to convey, the steadiness of the hand that you need to make those so small individual letters and be consistent, where it doesn't. Sometimes you look at these drafting diagrams and you don't think that they're written by people because the letters are so consistent.
Right.
It doesn't look like a handwritten where, one of us hands writes something. You could say, well, that E and that E, even though they're in the same word, they do not look the same. Where if you're a drafter, it's going to look the same. And it's really a high level skill.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Dave, you have something with one of our sponsors you wanted to share. You found something out in the wild, I understand. Like, I have seen this because I visit the shop every week to pick up our pizza from our friend Slice on Broadway. But what did you find?
Sure. I was over at Aspinwall and stopped by Labrio's Italian market, just kind of going through and seeing what they had there. And all of a sudden, I see a jar of Slice on Broadway original pizza sauce.
Oh, the sauce! I usually see the pepper or something that they have.
Okay, no, this is their sauce, and I'm like, I have to have this. Just to have this, I have to have the Slice on Broadway. So, and I mean, this is like I said, this is an Italian store. So you got sauces from Italy. You got all these sauces with the various things and, authentic Italian stuff. And of course, there's Slice on Broadway right in the middle of it.
Hey, they do have an Italian restaurant. I mean, and the owner has a very Italian name. So I think it's pretty and there was an Italian wrestler who gave the thumbs up to Slice on Broadway, if I remember correctly. That is true. There you go. But even though pizza is not necessarily an Italian thing, influences. So awesome. So let's check in. Let's get into some video game news with our buddy Chachi, who is turned this in. Chachi's currently in Chicago right now, by the way, on assignment, if you will. And has been sharing some of his travels. So I'm hoping next week we'll also get a Chachi Says Travel blog along with this as well, but we'll see about that. So here's what's going on in Chachi's Video Game Minute.
Hey, Hey kids, welcome back to the Chachi Says Video Game Minute. Here's as much video game news as I can cover in about a minute. EA has closed its $55 billion sale to a Saudi-backed buyer, completing the plan to go private. Be on the lookout for more in-game ads, purchases, and bullshit add-ons. Next up, Netflix strikes it big with an exclusive extended look at GTA 6 coming on August 27th. I imagine that will either do really big numbers or very little. I'm curious, so I'll be taking a look. It's not like the game needed more publicity, though. And lastly, Atari is on the rise once again, coming in with an annual revenue of $57 million last year, making it the highest in a decade when they last declared bankruptcy. While the profit level was very low, it's much better than the $12 million loss it produced just last year. Things are looking up for Atari. Still can't wait for Pong the movie. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Chachi Says Video Game Minute. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Chachi, for that video game minute. Atari is such a... That's on Dave off air here. Atari is such an interesting story because obviously, you know, there's the roots in like a California company, right? I believe.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
and you know, so a lot of it, the computer museum down there, not San Jose, maybe it's in Cupertino, somewhere around there. Mountain View, actually, I think it is. It's in the area. Either way, so like Atari is so interesting, you know, because I feel like we say it's Paris based now, right? Based on this article that
It's a French holding company.
yeah,
Yeah.
French holding company. It's just like it's a name that's been kind of bought and sold so many times, and I guess the properties went with it. So that's why it's been so weird over the years. If you look at stuff and then look in the 2000s and see what games were under the Atari Games banner, like there's some wild franchises that they absorbed from getting somebody and then out and everything like that. If it's just one of those odd things. But yeah, no, you know, I was looking because it looked like they invested in, like, I think it was a Swedish game company according to the article when I was looking briefly earlier, and everything. So and again, I'm not seeing it stamped on a lot of things except for Atari games. Those Atari all-in-one consoles you can buy at Cracker Barrel is the biggest place where I see them these days. And of course, every time we get a story about Atari's got a new console, it's going to do this and that, and it's also practically a PC that looks like the old Atari. So either way, hey guys, thanks so much for supporting the show over there at patreon.com/awesomecast. We got our friends Brian Crawford, Cynthia Klosky, John Nagor, and Dave Podnar, who would like to remind you can use Dave26 at checkout for the gcxc.com/eventspa for discounted registration at races. I saw you used our bit from Wrestling Mayhem show last week to promote.
Well, I will give Gianni, Michael, and Rico major credit, because a lot of times when you go over the Patreon bit as part of Mayhem show and you mention running, the stock answer is, you know, oh, I only run if someone's, you know, if someone's coming after me, or I'm only running for food.
All the pro wrestlers are like, I don't run, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
The most in shape of them, like Shane in your facey, with the banana ball, that won't wear a shirt in my studio, is like, I don't run, brother.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, if I had abs like that, I would never wear a shirt.
I wouldn't either. Yep. There's that too.
But yeah, so I mean, the fact that he was so positive about it.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to use that as a thing. And now this, for most people, you'll be probably seeing it too late, since the next race is August 12th at night.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 2222. But they have tons of races they do timing for. And the next race that is a GCXC race is out in Murraysville here. It is the Trick or Trot 5K. So not only is there a 5K race, and there's a shorter run for the kids, but there's also a costume contest as part of it. And it's a nice flat trail. So you don't have to worry about, you know, you're in costume, you don't want to do hills, you don't have to worry about traffic or road or anything. It's a great family event.
Awesome. Very cool. Are you doing the tutu?
Right? Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah. In fact, I this past weekend I hit the because I said I signed up for a teal tutu. So I wanted to have clothing that would accentuate the teal. So I went to Goodwill because that's where I get most of my running gear at.
Of course.
Because running gear is expensive. I mean, stupid expensive. And if you can get some nice running shirt and nice running hat for $5, $6, $4, if you get it on Sunday where it's it's a buck if you get the right color on Sunday there. So I got a nice black hat with a very bright pink trim on it. And I picked up some nice pink running socks. So basically going above the knee. So I'll have the teal and pink look. It'll be almost a little Miami Vice-ish.
Lovely. It better be, and you'll have the headband and everything, right?
Oh yes.
There you go. You're voguing out over there. All right, let's get through the stories here, and let's go down the line with some of the video. There's a lot of video game stories here, and since we just had the Chachi says, let's talk a little bit about that. First of all, my brother Matt just sent me a story. He's saying might eventually be able to play your Xbox PC and Game Pass on Linux soon, and also Mac, according to this article. It means it will include backward compatibility in original Xbox and 360 titles that you own on the service. So the idea is this is a project called, let me get you over there. This is a project called XODUS, XODUS. And the idea is it's going to, it looks like a kind of thing where you're going to be able to log in and download these things, basically games that already run on a PC, and then they'll now be compatible with Mac and Linux. This feels a little bit like, and that includes backwards compatibility, things you own on the service, things like that, like especially Xbox Anywhere, where you can download like the PC version of Halo or Doom or something like that, right? So the idea, and again, it is saying both Linux and Mac systems, they handle that side of things. So this isn't an emulator, to go play your games or download games to play or anything like this. Out of sorts. This is logging into Microsoft from what I'm reading here and being able to download your PC compatible library, which can, very soon include original Xbox and 360 titles as they're working through them on the service. This feels very similar to me how there is no app that Xbox can put out to let you use Game Pass on your Apple TV, on your phone, or anything like that, right? You go through the browser on the phone. But how many services have we talked about that have, like, I can do my NVIDIA GeForce, I can do my Xbox Game Pass. It's kind of a unofficially supported thing, right? You're allowed to take this protocol from Microsoft, and they don't care, because if I'm paying for the subscription, they get their money, and they don't. And it's one more app they don't have to support as well, honestly. So, and then some user out there is doing it open source and puts it out there for all of us to use, or actually GameHub. I'm sorry, is it Game? Not GameHub. GameHub's the thing that's I'm playing games on my Mac right now. That's actually working really good. I might talk a little bit more about that once I've had a little bit more to it. Wow, I can't remember what it's called. That Xbox one that we've had on before. It's like a $10 or $15 app. It's fine, to play your games on your phone or your Apple TV. It's what I play my Game Pass through. And then there's so this seems like it's similar to that. So the idea is you'll be able to download this project. It's on GitHub, it's very open source, reverse engineering effort for PC games. It's not going to let you download all of them off of Microsoft servers, but if you have Game Pass, if you have purchased games that do have that compatibility, you can bring it down. So I think that's a really cool option that's opening up there for some of us that don't have PCs that we can play games on. I have PCs, there's 3 of them right here, but they're obviously locked into the studio. So,
and honestly, I could, like I said, this isn't, like I said, an emulator or something where, no, you have to pay Microsoft anyway. So it's just a matter of where you're playing it on. This would be great. I mean, this sounds, and it makes sense that if they can get working for Linux, they can get it working for Mac, since Mac is based on Linux.
Yeah, Unix, but yeah, close enough.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
base, same base. Very cool. Were you a Quake player back in the 90s?
I was not. No.
Oh,
No, I
love.
tried to play the 3D feel of it.
Yes.
I got motion sickness sitting at it.
And that was one of the first true 3D kind of things, you know. Well, it's been like 30 years, man, and still we're making new content for the original Doom or Quake. Look at this. There's a new contact pack for the 30th anniversary. It's called Dawn of the Machine. It's by the studio that brought you the latest Indiana Jones game, dude, which was amazing, by the way. I started playing a little bit of this today. Well, it looks very cool. Like, this is very 1996-ish, I think. Yeah, 30 years. So it's not going to be astonishing, but they did redo it with updated lighting effects and things. So this is on Xbox. This is on PC. I brought it over onto the PC thing through GeForce, which is really fun. So that is a big thing. For me right now. So they have a lot of packs in there, including one that they converted, I think, like the shareware version of Doom into the Quake engine, so it's in full 3D. So, but very cool. If you have the Quake, if you purchase Quake or you have it on Game Pass, I think these all are immediately included. This is not an add-on that changes things. So you don't have to go into that menu. This is like when you go into the episodes, it's another episode that has been added. And also, there's already more episodes on there. Like the expansion packs that they did back in the day were all included, wrapped up in this thing since. So it's a very cool package. So definitely go, if you have the Quake already, or go pick it up, on, again, PC, Xbox, it doesn't matter right now. It's like an Xbox Anywhere title at this point too. So that would also be included. Although Quake definitely already runs probably on both those other platforms, but not through the Xbox store, I guess, right? Like I don't know. No, actually, I'm trying to think if I had Quake through Steam as well, because it doesn't come up on Mac. I don't think I own it over there, but either way, we'll see. So that was a really cool thing going on there, because I think they just had QuakeCon or something, because I saw that pop up on one of my Xbox apps. So, and that's a kind of a side thing I want to talk about for a moment. So Game Pass is really nice, but it kind of falls apart. I picked up Dispatch finally. Riz will be very proud of me. I picked up Dispatch on Xbox because I'm like, oh, it's out. It's not coming to Game Pass. I'm just going to go ahead, and I had some money on my Xbox card from all the points and playing way too much and playing Gears of War Tactics every day at lunch. So I've been playing they brought Xbox over into NVIDIA GeForce. So most of the titles not most, but a lot of the titles on the PC Game Pass are now compatible with GeForce Now. Now, again, those are games you could play on Game Pass, but it's going to be the Xbox versions of them. And Xbox only does so much. When you're on GeForce, like Doom Dark Ages is a very quick first-person game, right? Been playing it through those apps on my Apple TV, and man, it just kind of falls apart a little bit. Like the stream kind of falls apart a little bit and just gets kind of chunky because it's so fast. Like you hit this button and you have this shield charge that zooms you across the map at something like 100 yards away, right? And it gets a little wonky. I booted that thing up on GeForce, man. Oh my God, it is beautiful. Okay. So now I'm in a case where Xbox is doing this too. The Xbox is the Game Pass is starting to run on the Series X. I personally own 2 Series S machines, and then the GeForce is obviously, that thing is always updated to the tilt. I'm not on Ultimate. I'm still on the Founders plan, but I still have RTX, which is a big thing that they push. And Doom Dark Ages was built around the RTX kind of pipeline. That you may hear about it in NVIDIA. Just stuff looks cooler. It's lighting effects and things like that. If you have a Series X, they have RTS as well. I believe is part of it, like those lighting effects, but or RTX, I think it is on NVIDIA. But God, it looks so much better. I pulled up Forza Horizon, the new one on this thing. Those cars look beautiful, man. And like, I'm not a car guy, but like that's a gorgeous freaking game, and especially when you have it on something that's really pumping. I'm not noticing much for lag on those things because, like, again, those are two very twitchy games, right? Like, you got to be on. If you're like a little slow on that, you're just sliding right into the wall in Forza. And then, you know, Doom's another one where it's a very fast action game. It's been a beautiful thing. So, man, the debate is happening now. Should I bother buying a gaming PC because, oh my God, I can't afford that, especially today, versus should I drop whatever money it is to get GeForce Now? And I say jump on the GeForce as long as it's got the games. That's the only problem is you have to look at that, just like you look at Game Pass. Does it have the games you're going to play? I got a big catalog over the years, and a fraction of it's on there, but I'm sitting at a point where 500 some games from my collection, including Game Pass, are on that service. I think I'm going to be good for a while. Let's just put it that way. And weird anomalies where it has a bunch of the Tomb Raider games, but then it has like the remaster of Tomb Raider 1 through 3, but not 5 through 6. Not that I'm really clamoring to play 5 through 6, but it was just like a noticeable kind of like weird holes in there. It's got like one of the Mega Man games, like 11, but it's got like a couple of the Street Fighters, but not the most recent one. Well, I guess it does. Actually, no, because I have it on Xbox, so that's why I can't play it on stream. Because that has not come to Game Stream yet, for instance. So I think it's getting there. It's getting further along. There's more stuff I want to play on the services, and I'm really, really happy with that. And that's what I do. I just my weekends when I got nothing going on, I'm just flipping through my Apple TV shows I'm watching. Stick has been really good, by the way, with Luke Wilson. And then just I flip over to the other app, pick up my Xbox controller that's mapped to my Apple, paired with my Apple TV, and go. No flipping, no switching, kind of thing. So I didn't even play my Switch this week that much. I popped in for some Animal Crossing to let them know I'm still alive. So either way, so that's kind of a little extra video game tip. What else we got here? Still on the video game side, Diablo is coming to Cedar Point and Six Flags. This surprised me when I saw it on my feed, and that kind of blew me away a little bit. Like, we have Phantom Fright Nights here. You have your Halloween Horror Nights at down in Universal and all those kinds of things, and they always have themes and whatever licenses. And I think I heard about Cedar Point doing this, but I was really kind of surprised. Like Diablo, I didn't know was kind of given the Jason Statham cows. Diablo is a game by Blizzard who does Warcraft and does StarCraft and things like that. So very interesting to see that kind of rolled into it. So I'm kind of curious about it. I kind of would love to see what that looks like up at Cedar Point. And if you go to the Halloween weekends over on Cedar Point, presented by Snickers, by the way. So this gives me no information. That's great. I'm glad they pointed me this way. It's so weird that Cedar Point is like at Six Flags, more or less, or in the same company or something like that.
Yeah, they merged together. They did merge together. So yeah.
The music, and a lot of those Six Flags are winding down from the looks of things too. So yep.
I mean, I hate to see stuff close down that give people options.
Yeah.
Because amusement parks did have a major boom in the 40s and 50s, and then crashed in the 60s and 70s, and that's why there's not a lot of old parks. Pre-World War II parks, because they got big. Suburbs came. They sold the park for basically little houses.
I feel like you're
for development.
I feel like you're just talking about Juggalik right now. So
yeah, they're one of them, but there's other ones that are really similar. I mean, there's one that's local, is White Swan Park.
Yeah,
which was sold when they built the new airport. They needed the new expressway to the new terminal. That's where it was.
Man, I remember driving by that thing all the time when my grandma would take me to movies, and we never went. And I'm kind of sad that I never got there once. Saw it from the highway so many times too. So yeah, but I will. This is also news that I had to share with Riz. So Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is opening permanent location featuring animatronic stage shows in 2027. This is going to be at the American Dream, which is basically it's actually, I think, a division of Mall of America, same company, same concept with their indoor park. You know, we talk about the Nickelodeon park when I've gone there. And they also have a Mr. Beast restaurant as well. That I do enjoy when I go there. But yeah, they are doing the full-on the full-on experience, which is going to be, basically it's going to be just a twisted Chuck E. Cheese at this point, right? So, but that is a very cool. So we got to get Riz to New Jersey in 2027 so we can take him to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. So that's cool. That's the place to do it too, because it's a bunch of those. Like there's Angry Birds Golf, and there's there is a DreamWorks based indoor water park with Kung Fu Panda and Shrek hanging over the wave pool. So like that. There's the fake Toys R Us. Not as fake as the Macy's ones, but it's actually a little more to it, and it was kind of fun to walk through it. But
yeah, and honestly, when you see malls are either dying dead, or they go high end.
Oh, this is a destination Ferris wheel. This is the one with the indoor skiing. Like this is this becomes a destination, and everything else goes with it. Although it's really weird because you go to the other end of the mall, there's not a lot of stuff open. Like there's more space. But it's a very nice walkway from if you parked in the far garage. But other than that, it's good where it's good.
The actual stores probably are. Yeah.
And there's like a Best Buy in there and stuff like that. And there's like all these kitschy stores and stuff that's more expensive and everything. Like this is where the city goes out to shop and play kind of thing. So, and it's right next to MetLife. This is where they did all the WWE meetup and stores, like pop-up stores. And there's an indoor skating rink, and that's where they did all the signings. So we got to be on the upper level and look down and see Rhea Ripley hanging out, and stuff like that. So, not in a creepy way. It was wide open. Okay. So that was very cool. So I did reach out to Riz for comment, excuse me. Riz, this is gonna be weird, and I'm for it. There you go. That's the official statement from Riz Industries.
Because I saw someone post about that, and they were like, haven't we learned anything yet? Is this a really good idea?
Plus AI, we are screwed
in 2026, 2027 at this point.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, it goes along with the haunted houses, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Dave, you've been doing some photography this weekend with an old favorite app that I think is out of beta now, isn't it?
It's still in beta. It's still considered their testing platform.
Okay.
For Adobe. So I still, if it's a challenging shot, I'll use it.
Okay.
I really want to zoom in, or it does dark mode really well, but it's a little slower. And
this is the Adobe Indigo.
Yeah. And this is Project Indigo. So, yes. And it runs hot, it kills your battery.
Yes.
So I tried one night, okay, sunset. I'm going to try taking a picture directly into sunset. So I took the picture. That's unedited, so that's just straight out of the camera. That's me going to Lightroom, trying to unwash out the sun as much. Another program, Lit, another editing program. Again, trying a lot of times when it's weird like this, I try different programs to see what they can handle, because all the algorithms are different and all their things can be different. And then with Project Indigo, now this is slowly being rolled out.
Yes.
You can do AI edits and AI reviews. So if you take a picture inside of Project Indigo, you can say, give me a professional review of my shot here.
Is this the same picture?
It's the same picture. So I told it I wanted to make the sky, it kind of replaced the sky completely.
Yeah.
I said I wanted to make it where the sun did not, overwhelm the sky, and more details in the clouds itself. Well, again, it's AI.
Mhm.
So it said, okay, I'm going to give you a sun. Different location. It
Mhm.
looks different. It's a little different that way. Also, the one cloud on the bottom right, I think, is the same cloud that actually was in the picture, but it put clouds in the rest of the sky.
Hmm.
Now, to me, I would not say this is the photo I took
No.
because there's lots of AI edits. But
Yeah,
you got to watch out
it
because
took
people
liberties.
will say, this is the photo I started with. Because you see, like I said, if you kind of flip between them, that on the horizon on the right hand side, those clouds are kind of similar there, but the rest of it was kind of added in.
They're concepts of a cloud.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just a way where everyone's kind of going against AI now, and it's getting to the point where it's no longer AI, it's just part of the editing process.
Yeah, no, I
And
keep.
it's something you don't have to use. And the thing that I will find most useful is reviews of the photos,
Mhm.
because it always helps when you're trying to take a picture and thinking, I kind of like the idea, but what could I make different? And of course, you can always go online. Our iPhoneography group, our Facebook group, very supportive. Occasionally, we do have people say, "Here's a picture I took. What could I do to make it better?" Or how would you do it? Or even at times, people say, "Here's a picture I took. I want to see what everyone else does with the editing."
Right.
So, just to expand off, but you can also use AI to say, okay, look at the photo here and give me feedback on this photo. And that can be helpful a lot of
It
times.
was, I did something today for one of my clients that, it's kind of the lower end, so we don't put a lot of don't want to put a lot of time in graphics or anything just cuz we don't have the bandwidth for it. I did something in AI and I really liked it. It didn't look like AI to me. It took my logo and perfectly set it in and made the rest of the design off of the logo. And I was like, this is great. And then I put it up and it got the tag for AI. I'm like, oh no. But not that I want to hide it, but it's just like, this was like a great thing. I put it in. I expected to get more of a mock up, but I got something where I'm just like, yeah, that looks right to me. Like that looks like something I would get out of Canva, honestly. So,
Yeah.
or if I went in Adobe Express and try to put something
Mm-hmm.
together, but you never find the template that fits for you, that kind of stuff, right? So,
Or a lot of times the template you want is the extra, it's the pro level template.
I don't find that
And
I don't find that in an Adobe so much.
okay.
So, but either way, so but I was really kind of happy with how that kind of shook
Mm-hmm.
out. So, but yeah, no, that was really good. I didn't expect it to work, and then I was just like, oh, let's just run with this, and save
Yeah.
myself 10 minutes, so I can get something else out there for them for the week.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about video stores earlier. You find one IRL.
Yeah, I found this here, Lost Lizard, and they're bringing back video rentals. It's down in Lawrenceville.
Of course it is.
And yeah, I would say where else would it be? But it's VHS tape, DVD, and Betamax.
Whoa! Jeez.
So yeah,
You got to be renting these at a premium if you're dropping the Betamaxes in there, right? Because
well, it's either I mean,
all them
younger
Lawrenceville
kids.
hipsters. Look at this. Night of the Zombie, The Gates of Hell. This reminds me of this. Oh God, this reminds me of the old video store back home with the crazy horror picture collection. So
So yeah, I mean, they're bringing it out. The stocks are just whatever's stock there.
mhm.
So it's just something, and obviously you're going to have your own VCR
Yes,
or
yes.
DVD player.
They got Sega Genesis, Castlevania Bloodlines for the Genesis, so they got some video games going on too. So, I do love. They did mention in this article, Incredibly Strange Video. We've been in there a couple of times. But one of my friends that moved down here as well. He he was a really big on old horror films, so he frequented Incredibly Strange Video. They had a lot of really cool stuff in there. That closed down. Oh God, that closed in 2008. Are you serious? And then Bloomfield's Dreaming Ant closed in 2013. I bet that's the one because I remember there's like a coffee shop with a video store in the back that I found myself in a couple of times over in the Bloomfield area. So very cool. So that is,
and honestly, the price, it says at the bottom, tiered membership. It doesn't say how much, but anyone can rent a video for around $5 a week.
oh, that's not bad, especially in this economy.
Yeah. And especially the way that streaming services are just whoop.
I just saw today that Google had taken the Lord of the Rings extended edition out of your collection if you had them purchased. So, but also this is where, and one of the things in there was if you have Movies Anywhere and have it synced up with somewhere else, you should be good. You still have it available, right? If you purchased it on Google.
Should.
So, but yeah, as long as you did it in advance and everything should work out.
Yeah.
Man, they got it. This is where, and there was another Sony one, thing that came up too today about licenses, and it was about the Studio Canal stuff that was coming down. I always say about trust, Microsoft, I don't hear about this as much, right?
Yeah.
That's where a lot of my stuff is. I haven't heard, you hear the horror stories of the guy that his account got blocked because it got hacked or whatever, and he lost like $1 million, 20 years of games and everything like that. And that's a fear. It is a fear, but also make sure you're secure, man. If you're putting that much money into something like that, and yeah, this licensing thing has worked out. We're not in an environment where it will, because we don't have people in government that are interested in solving these problems for the consumers. Just they're interested on the other side. So until that turns around, contact your Congress critter, vote for a new one if you don't like what's happening with the one that you have in there now, regardless of the party. That's what primaries are for, if you're worried about the party line. So like, but if you find somebody that works for you, this is not a top of the line problem, but this is a nagging problem that's stealing people's money and confidence and consumer confidence, and you don't have choices, and that's why there's no recourse for this. You know what I mean? So you had a license, you read the license. He was like, I paid full price and didn't know that's what this meant, but you would have paid the same price for a DVD. I'm going back to I think I'm going back to buying DVDs with codes. I think I'm gonna a little movies that I pay a couple bucks for on sale is fine. But yeah, I had to buy my copy of Dogma. So, either way, what else we got here we want to touch on, sir?
Well, we got one more that is a coming app.
Coming out. Oh, yes. I signed up. I signed up for this. Tell me about this.
This is, and if you're someone who runs or bikes in public, knowing where there's restrooms and water is a big deal,
especially in a city. You need this in Manhattan, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I did a run a couple weeks ago where I started up in Millville, by the park there, and the trail goes all the way downtown. I was running towards on the north side, and there's no bathrooms on that trail.
So what is this app?
So it's called Nature Calls. So the idea is that it's crowdsourced restrooms, water, and route support for anyone who needs to go now.
I love the listing at the bottom is race day, parents, IBS and Crohn's, anyone in a hurry, recyclists, runners.
Which, if you're going out somewhere, there is an issue with, depending on, some cities have better public facilities than others.
Sure.
Pittsburgh really does not have a great lot of facilities. It literally, like where I was going in, it was a 2 mile, it was a 2 mile down, 2.5 miles down, 2.5 miles back up. There were no bathrooms the whole distance.
No.
And even when I got into town near an area, there still was not bathrooms anywhere around there. Luckily, for something to drink, because I was getting kind of thirsty, it was warm. I went to the shore thing that was open and was able to get water and refreshments there. But that's still, let's say they close down and it's in the fall. You're like, okay, where can I get something? And having it sourced like this, where, it's people saying, this is a good place. Here's somewhere you can go. Here's this here. That could really help out when you need help. And there's sometimes, depending on what you're doing, this is where trail runners have an advantage. I'll just say that.
I think also you need to consider, at first I do want to correct, because I'm reading the copy here and it looks like it's actually Nature Calls Run is the official name of the app. It is for iOS and Android. You can sign up now to be the first, get notified when it releases. So this isn't out yet. There's a couple notable things that I'm reading here. First of all, off the side, I want to say one place where you could use this is somewhere like New York City, because you're walking around Manhattan. Where do I go to the bathroom is a problem. And they have a section here. They have a Know Your Rights section. And apparently this is going to be illustrated in the app and give you links and information about it. Allie's Law lets customers with a documented medical condition, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, IBS, and more, use an employee restroom at qualifying retailers. Over 20 states have passed a version of it. They're publishing the definitive linkable guide so you know your rights before you need them. That's good. That's a very good thing.
Yeah, because honestly, and people don't think of restroom as a lot of times as a medical issue.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do have one of those diseases, yes, it is medical. There you go. And it's a matter of, no, I need to do something, or I'm going to do it here and then probably go to the hospital afterwards.
Right, exactly.
So it is a medical, again, this is thinking of people first and saying we need to support humans with their literally basic bodily needs before we think about, well, how is this going to affect the business?
Yeah.
It's like, there's a person there who needs help. Let's deal with the person first.
So that's naturecallsapp.com if you want to go sign up for it and be the first to get it on it. This is showing me the Pittsburgh map of downtown. Is this Pittsburgh based, or is it like kind of calling
the person
who did
it is local.
Okay.
The person who started is local. Yeah, I found it on one of the running groups I'm a part of.
Very cool. Local based. Very, very cool. Trying to see if there's any more information on that, but no, it's all just contact form.
No.
So very cool. Very, very cool. We're going to hold this other one until next week. There's a Kickstarter going on. Let me see if that is going to be applicable here. 37 days. Yeah, we'll do that next week. So, and I also want to get Katie's opinion on this as well. So we're moving this.
It's one of those Kickstarters, and nothing about this one particular, but you see Kickstarters are like, yes, we're giving 50 days to fund $10,000, and they're a week into it and they funded $130,000 or
they're
something.
Doing
like
fine. It's like, a model and it works. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think that's fine. Dave Podnar, Prof Pod, Dave Podnar, PGH, some places.
Yep, depending if it's TikTok or everywhere else, just Prof.
There you go. At Sorgatron on all the social medias. See what's going on with me. I know I just put a story up from actually a week ago when we visited the site for the Baja SAE for Ohio. We were doing a site visit there to figure out some technology for the live stream, so we should be good to go with that stuff. And there will be some adventures coming up here in the next couple of weeks that'll be worth sticking around on that account for, especially on Instagram and wherever else I post. So, and get an eye. Hey, we have a wrestling show going on. Wrestling Mayhem Show presents Sorgstock. We're going to do a wrestling show August 28th up at the warehouse with our friends at 880 Wrestling in their house, if you will. And we're going to have a lot of fun. Sandy Suntimer from my hometown in Greenville is going to fight an alien, it seems. We are going to announce a new match tonight on the Wrestling Mayhem Show, and we have, a back-to-school match with MDMA and Department of Jocks, and we also have announced the big bite-off between Gory and Beastman. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got Sykes DJing, spinning the tunes beforehand, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that. So thank you guys so much. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.